strategist, and champion. The Lewis Howard Live Show provides you the insider's view on winning. All we do is win, 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 helping you become the best version of yourself. Hey, this is Lewis Howard. Thank you for joining me for another quick conversation. Hey, today we're talking about faith and action. Man, faith and action is pretty cool. I hope you're doing well today. I had a great meeting with the team, and I thought I'd share some insights as I have a little extra time here to let some things rip, tater chip. Anyway, I am been studying a lot about dreams and faith and people's various interpretation of what that mean. I hear people say, "I have faith in that. I have faith in that person." Another terminology may be, "I'm of a certain faith," right? And it can mean both spiritual, religious, or secular things, depending on how you phrase it, right? I think for most people, probably has a religious connotation to it. I always have to have my coffee, right? Starbucks should be paying me to do this. But anyway, so I just really want to talk briefly about action. And so what I am understanding is that a lot of people have something that they are believing for. Maybe it's a job. Maybe it's a spouse. Maybe it's a business loan. Maybe it's a business opportunity. But we're all believing for something. Your kid to work out a situation where they are getting better, or your partner to change, or something that you are believing for, right? So maybe take a minute and think about, what am I believing for? Increase, pay increase, new car, world peace. I know that if, as of this recording, many people in Ukraine are, they're believing that this war stops, that this attack stops, that the loss stops, right? At different times in your life, you could be believing for change. So we all have things that we believe for, that we hope for. But what I've learned as I have been studying a lot of this is that if I don't have some sort of corresponding action, then what I'm believing for is not really going to help. There is a scripture, James 2:17, I believe it says, or 2:7, says, faith without works ain't happening, right? And so that means that you have to have some sort of labor involved. Now, what that is will depend on what you are believing for, because as you know by now, I really teach a principle-based kind of life. And if you learn the principle, the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you have them do unto you. I don't know if that's so much principle, but it's a rule that we live by. If you pay it forward, if you give things, then good things come back to you. The Bible talks about sowing and reaping. So there's just different aspects of different religions really, espouse a serving kind of life as a reward in this life or, the next. But either way, if I'm believing for something, I have to have a corresponding action. So take, for example, if I want a business, I'm believing to start an online business or a brick and mortar business. That's what I'm believing for. That's what I'm in, got the plan, and I'm believing for that. Well, just doing that alone won't make that business successful. It won't even make it come into being, right? So I'm going to have to take some steps in order to validate or proof what I'm doing. One of my favorite shows used to be a Shark Tank and Mr. Wonderful, right? And one of the things he would ask people is, what have you done to proof the business? What have you done to demonstrate that this business is a viable business? And many times you find out people have not done the work that it takes to prove what you're doing. So if you have a faith or belief in a business, you're going to have to do the work to prove that. You're going to have to get the legal licensing to set up the business. That requires some money, time, and skill, maybe some lawyers. You got to go out and get some money. You got to go out and get some place. And a lot of times when I've talked to entrepreneurs, they've gone and rented places that they didn't even have money for. They've gone and tried to buy things that they didn't even have the resources for. Okay, that's putting action out there. So the opposite is, well, when I get the licensing set up, I'll start the business. Or when I get somebody to give me money, I'll start the business. Or when this happens or when that happens. So now you are waiting for a series of events to happen before you take action. That doesn't work. So you got to kind of have to get out the boat. You're going to have to take a step out there. One of the things I coach and lead people in real estate, and I've been doing that for 25 plus years. And most real estate agents, they have to come into real estate agent on faith, right? So they, by faith, will get their license, get signed up, and they come in. But there's no guarantee that they're going to get clients. There's no guarantee that they're going to get commissions. They're going to guarantee they're going to make the six-figure income maybe that they have in their mind. So they're taking a step action in order to put themselves in a position for what they're believing for to be true. That's the best way I can kind of put it, is what are you doing to make your dream become a reality, right? And just opening up your Instagram page and waiting for 1 million followers, that's not going to get that happen. You're going to have to invest some time. You're going to have to invest some money. You're going to have to invest some energy into making it happen. Look, if you're in a bad situation, maybe you're listening to me and you've got a bad situation and you don't really know how to get out of it. Okay. And I have been in those situations where I can't kill nothing, won't nothing die, right? 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, net, I'm nowhere. And what you have to do in those situations is, what is it that I can do now? Can I make a phone call? Can I write an email? Can I send a text to someone to ask for some guidance or some help or assistance? Okay. But sitting in a situation and just trying to wait until things get better is not the kind of action that I'm talking about. And it's not the kind of action that's going to change your situation. It's better if you're out there doing something wrong or off than nothing at all. Because you can make something out of something. You can't make a nothing out of nothing. Nothing from nothing still leaves nothing. So if you're believing something for yourself, for your family, for your company, for your spouse, for your children, for your partners, you're got to get out and take a risk. And yes, you might fail. You might have a setback. You might even make a mistake. And this is the trouble when you talk about faith in action for people who are afraid to fail. They're afraid to make a mistake. They're afraid to be embarrassed. They're afraid to be shamed out. You're not going to make it. You really are. You're going to have somebody bail you out. And that's not necessarily fun, because you don't learn anything when somebody bails you out. Look, I had to manage having almost $2 million in debt for almost 10 years. And I wanted somebody to bail me out. I wanted somebody to write me a check. I wanted somebody to give me a get out of jail card free. Guess what? It didn't happen. So I had to keep taking the steps that I can take long enough to eventually paying off and eliminating all that debt so that I can look as good as I do today, because otherwise it was not a fun time. So what is it that you need to do? If you're believing for a job, then you need to be out every day applying for jobs. And the hope is you will run across somebody that'll give you an opportunity. So that's what faith in action really is I got the faith, that's what I'm believing for, right? But then what's my action? And what I find is people are really short on the action, and they will say things like, well, I don't know what to do. or you hear like, well, I've tried everything, or I'm waiting on this thing to get right and then I can go do it. All that leads to just no progress. And so, again, the purpose that I do the show is I want to help you become the best version of yourself. Hey, I'm living a good life, and it's getting better every day. But I want many of you to join me in that conversation, in that journey. And I know that if you're watching this, maybe there's just a thought, an idea, something in your head that you want to do. And the other thing is that the two ways out of a situation with faith is you're either creating a way out or you're going to have a solution or a domination over the current situation, right? If you stay in a situation too long, it will dominate you. And then you'll start to think you can't get out. People who drink too long begin to think, I can't stop drinking. Or people who smoke for years think, I can't stop doing it. You can always stop doing it. It's a battle to stop at times, but you can always stop, right? There's certain things I just don't do because I don't have an interest in it. And then there are things that I do, and I need to balance how I eat and what I drink and what I do and where I go. It's always about discipline. So part of the work is to be disciplined and to be focused, right? In our culture, because we're inundated with so many different streams of information into our consciousness, it is very difficult to stay focused. It's hard for somebody to stop at a stoplight. I just witnessed this today without picking up their phone and texting right quick, right? Just got a million things going on and I got to get it out in 30 seconds before the light change. It's just too much pressure. And so you have to be willing to stay focused. And what that means, as you always hear me talk about, is you may have to eliminate some people, some places, and some things in order to put your faith to work, because not everybody's going to be supportive of your goal, your dream, your hope, whatever you're trying to do. This is not a religious conversation. This is a life conversation. This is, where are you at now and where do you want to be? What are you demonstrating faith in, and what work are you putting in to get that? The other part of that, for those that say, hey, well, you know what? I did do something and it didn't work out. Okay. Well, what's your option? Get up and go do it again. Don't stop doing it until it works out. If this doesn't work out, then try something else. If you dated this person and it didn't work out, let's go to another. That job didn't work out, let's go to another. Do you know how many times I've had to start over 20 some years, but I didn't quit. And now I'm on the verge of doing another whole multi-million-dollar, go to number one, have a great team, be influencer all over again. And how is that happening? Because I didn't quit. And every day, as Rick Ross' song say, every day I'm hustling, right? Every day I'm putting my feet to work. Every day I'm putting my faith to work. Every day I'm putting my hope to work, right? And then lastly, you can't do this by yourself. You got to have help. So if you're not strong enough in your faith or in your belief or in your dream, you got to get somebody to help you. Where two or more shall agree is touching on anything, and you can make things happen. One can put 1,000 flight, two can put 10,000 a flight. So sometimes you need a friend. You need a friend or a sister that's going to stick closer than a brother or family and help you get to where you want to be. So don't quit. Have a plan. And if the plan fails, just get another plan. Don't give up. Don't quit. You can get to what you want. You can get to your dream. Hey, this is Lewis Howard Live. As you know, I love to inspire people, and I enjoy doing this. And I'll see you again on another edition of Lewis Howard Live. Every great champion knows that success, overcoming, and winning in life is no accident. Creating individual success is like having a recipe for a great meal. It only works if you know how to use the ingredients. As a best-selling author, entrepreneur, business coach, strategist, and champion, the Lewis Howard Live Show provides you the insider's view on winning. All we do is win, 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 helping you become the best version of yourself.